Again? A1 Pictures. Again? What is going on? What is with these delays? Over and over and over again. A1 Pictures, get your crap together. What the heck? And I don't know. I'm thinking, I have a theory. I think it's Adam. I think there's actually a story reason that they're delaying the episodes, because every time they run into Adam, it gets delayed. So I think there's literally going to be some sort of story element that's added into this, that every time Adam shows up, there's a pause in time. I'm just saying something, anything that justify why this company cannot produce anime properly. Get like scheduling, come on. We've been doing this for a long time. Anyways, yes, NieR Automata episode 9 is delayed until further notice. Don't have a date or anything, which just absolutely sucks, because again, another right at this time, like right when things are getting like a cliffhanger. Every time it's a cliffhanger, and it just absolutely sucks. But we'll see. But until further notice, no episode impressions, obviously, but still, really, 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 really good episode. And it sucks because there was a few teases in here that honestly did not play out into anything, which kind of sucks. Like the whole thing where 9S ends up seeing the commander talking to some ladies, obviously council, and he didn't really get anything out of it. So it's like he did spy on them, and it's probably going to turn into repercussions. I'm curious if the commander will end up finding out that it was 9S. He was trying to create some sort of alibi or something, like create something, a report to kind of cover up what he was doing. But it kind of indicates that the commander knows, or at least the council's telling her, you know what to do. Like, you know who it is, find him and destroy him possibly. That's where my assumption is based on him hacking into the system. He's going to have to get removed. Like, they're going to have to destroy him, just like they're trying to do with A2 right now. Just get rid of him, dispose of them. But it just kind of more sucks the idea that he didn't really get anything out of it. He did get the fact that they had a plan, and the plan is absolute. They have to finish the plan, even if it means he didn't seem like he even picked up on the idea that they're talking about the fact that they're expendable. Like, well, we need to send somebody because they're gonna get lost. And then he says, no, that's been denied. Sacrifices will be made. It's all for this thing. Like, the sacrifices will not be wasted. We need to get this plan done. They said specifically contact plan B is more important. Whatever that is, I'm wondering if it has something to do with Adam, because I think when they originally ran into Adam and Eve, there was a lot of secrecy and them covering up exactly what was going on with them. And again, later on, 9S even trying to communicate to them to find out, well, did you find anything about these two that we ran into? And they said it was 6-0 was like, I don't have any sort of connection to that. I can't access that information. But at least what 9S got out of it was that, yeah, the commander's trying and the commander's not getting anything. Despite how confident the commander is, she's not getting anywhere with this information, and she's going by the whims of whatever the council wants. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Obviously, like a good portion of this is them being ordered to go find A2, investigate her and find out where she's at. And as they're traveling around, asking a bunch of questions, Pascal's never met A2, but there's a lot of records that A2 is destroying a lot of machine life forms. But specifically that A2 has never gone to the village. You would think over this whole long period of time, A2 would have found the village, but it seems like specifically A2 doesn't mind the village. Like, the village itself is not a threat, or at least maybe A2 has never found it, but yes, A2 could have possibly never found the village, but it sort of indicates the idea that A2 doesn't find them a threat. They're not the enemy, so to speak, but A2 has been going around and destroying a lot of machine life forms, which this is very puzzling to 9S. 9S is like, everybody that has deserted, that has left, that ran off, all androids that have done that stop fighting. So it kind of indicates the idea that when they do desert, it's typically because they're tired of fighting. But A2 continues to fight, which is odd to 9S. 9S kind of, again, sees this as somebody that is not illogical. This is an android that is doing something that's crazy. It's seeming more like everything's sort of adding up. They don't want to talk about A2. They don't want to get the information of why A2 deserted. They just want to destroy A2, despite the fact that A2 is still doing what A2's supposed to do. And the fact that A2 said they were abandoned makes sense. Again, it's going to this overall narrative that I think is going to be surrounding 9S, and the idea that he doesn't like fighting. He does like emotions. He's told not to have emotions. They're constantly not getting reinforcements. And it all kind of seems to be adding up in his head. He wants a world without war. The bunker constantly wants them to have war. But yeah, eventually they go to find Jakasus. And 2B finds Jakasus. And Jakasus is fishing. In a bikini, just throwing out lines. losing the line and just chucking a grenade. That was like the obvious solution that would come to with Jakasus, is that the moment that it gets frustrated, just chuck a grenade in there. It was funny because I assumed that the moment that she brought up the fact that the fish has this oil within it, that is this enzyme or something like that affects the androids, that would probably be the dead end at the end of the episode. But yeah, everything around Jakasus in this episode was absolutely fantastic. Here, can you eat this? It might kill you, but can you eat this? Please eat this. It might kill you though. But no, Jakasus is the one that kind of reveals to 2B, or at least confirms what Jakasus assumes 2B is already coming to a conclusion of, is that yes, this was the comrade that Lily was talking about. Which, yeah, when they first brought up the whole thing with Lily, I was like, why wouldn't 2B have connected that this whole story that she was told in the previous episode is literally number 2? But I guess coming through the conclusion that A2 equals number 2 could be confusing. But no, the scene on the water was absolutely fantastic, absolutely beautifully put together. Hats off to the studio, despite the fact that I'm absolutely sick of this studio. At least the workers overseas are doing a great job animating, because that scene was really beautiful. Just really give a sense of, again, humanizing 2B and 9S, giving them character and giving them emotions that are obviously building up over time. I like that 9S puts it in perspective, in the idea that I'm going to go out here and have fun. This is really fun. Come join me, 2B. She's complaining about the fact that he took his visor off. You're not allowed to take off your visors during a mission. And this whole thing is unnecessary. And he's like, well, this is what humans used to do. And we are formed after the humans, so obviously we can do this unnecessary thing. There's a benefit to it. The humans seen a benefit to it. We're going to see the benefit to it. And so, yeah, 2B gives in and goes out there. And again, very beautiful, very beautifully portrayed. 2B looked amazing taking off the visor. I always kind of wondered exactly what they see. I'm guessing they have a sensory or something like that tells them what's ahead of them, because it obviously indicates that this visor is blinding them. So all I can assume is that they have sensors that tells them what's around them, and taking off the visor just allows them to visually see it with their actual android eyes. And then they spot the lunar tier, and so they decide to show 6-0, which was super cute. Kind of gives this little sense of the idea that everybody up in the bunker, or at least with 6-0, is indicating that there's some that are up in the bunker that envy the fact that the Yora get to go down there. Like, 6-0 really badly wants to see this world they're seeing, that how beautiful it is, heard so many things about it, would love to see it. And 2B kind of tells her, I won't tell you if it's beautiful or not. I can't tell you that. But one day, again, when the war is over, you'll get to see it yourself. Kind of giving almost a promise that one day you'll be able to come down here and experience it yourself. Now, the hobbyist data collecting that 9S was doing, I forget who he was doing it for. One of the people in the bunker wanted 9S to gather information, was taking pictures and stuff and was sending it back up to him. Now, of course, this was all just a ruse for 9S to be able to hack into the system, to be able to see what the commander was talking about. But still, it was kind of a cool little thing they put in here, and a sort of explaining to 9S specifically what a family unit is. Here's these pictures, and she immediately goes, oh, these are things that are often tools of a family unit. And a family unit is a community, but on a more personal level. They have a more connection to protect and take care of each other. It's a special group. And specifically, it would be great if androids themselves had a formation similar to that, indicating this idea that we can form bonds with each other and specifically want to protect each other. Because everything that's indicated so far throughout the series has been this idea that you don't have emotions, don't form any sort of bonds, which was quickly broken in the first episode, let's be perfectly honest. The moment that 2B sees 9S in trouble, rushes out to his side, he protected her. So they're already kind of forming a sort of familial bond. But for the most part, what we've kind of seen is a lot of these androids, Yoras, are kind of separated. Now, granted, the first group that went off and seen Lily and her team was a unit, was 3 members. But did they have a familiar bond? Did they have some sort of kinship or a relationship with each other that made them want to protect each other? It seems so. And it makes me wonder if possibly the bunker and the council and everything seen that as a issue and no longer wanted them to work together. Because it seems like 9S, he's a scout, he's going to be out on his own. 2B is an attacker, doesn't necessarily always hang out with the scouts. But no, again, another one of those things that's slowly kind of chipping away from the norms that these Yora experience. Now, yes, that all leads to the very last scene, which is 9S, as he's trying to create this alibi, a ball rolls over towards him, and he walks over to find an art room. And pods disappeared, and this was kind of a really cool little thing they did, because at some point I noticed, why has it got like a widescreen bar at the top and the bottom, and it's translucent, like it's see-through. What exactly is this effect? And then slowly over time, that bar started getting more and more solid until 9S gets attacked by what seems like obviously Adam. I thought it was really cool because it kind of indicates that at some point as he enters in this art room, he's starting to become hacked, because it only does that whenever there is a hacking scenario happening. Whenever 9S would hack into something, you would get the widescreen bars. So it indicates that it slowly over time, as he's entering that room, he's being hacked by Adam. He's entering some sort of internal mind system, internal system, and no longer in the external. Again, I thought that was a really cool transition that he did. But yeah, it sort of indicates this idea that Adam's been watching him the whole time and painting pictures of him, even when they were on the beachside. Isn't there painting pictures of these two? Which kind of indicates to me that Adam has some sort of interest in 2B and 9S. What kind of interest that is going to be the big question mark. It's probably more in the idea that since there is no humans on this planet and the Yora seem to be the closest to humans themselves, he'd be interested in to get more information about humans directly from something created by humans. So we'll see what that turns into in the next episode. And yes, technically Eve realized that he couldn't contact his brother, so he's probably going to run off too. So we're probably going to have Eve running around too. I'm assuming you're probably going to have 9S combating with Adam inside of his internal systems, and you're going to have Eve probably looking for Adam, ends up running into 2B, and them have to fight. But we'll see whenever episode 9 decides to come out in, like, I don't know, probably at least 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. It has already been pretty much confirmed at this point. It will play off into spring, so the time slot's still open. It's just, again, depends on whenever they get around to it. Anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 8 of NieR Automata. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, make sure that like button down below, comment, let me know what's thought of the episode. Are you are you super mad that there's a delay again? Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you got my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. And yes, whenever episode 9 comes out, I'll be covering that as well. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, and membership button down below. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports the channel, and y'all take care.